Welcome back everybody to your Florida electrician. I had to replace my cabin filters because when it was humid outside and I started to use the car in the morning, it started to smell really funky. So here's a video I think everybody can do. This is actually my first time replacing these filters, and Tesla suggests you replace these filters every 2 years. So first things first, you want to move the passenger seat way back, take out your mat if you have one. And I apologize for the camera work. I was doing this by myself, but I didn't even use any tools on this. You could use a pry tool to remove these push clips, but I just used my fingers. I will put a link to some tools that you can use in the description. There's 4 of them that you need to pull out. Like I said, I used my fingers as one. It's not too bad if you have pretty strong fingers. There's a total of 4. Sorry for the camera work. And like I said, this was the first time that I've actually done this. I looked it up. I said, oh, let me see if I can use my fingers instead of ordering the tool. So there's a couple right there. You're looking up from under the dash, looking straight up. And this one gave me a bit of trouble. But again, I was able to kind of get it out with my fingernail, and my thumbnail. Got it started, and then I was able to pull it out. Kind of hard to hold the camera and do this at the same time. Kind of confined space. But, I mean, literally only took me a few minutes to get these right. Didn't break anything. There's another one right there. That's what it looks like. That piece can stay in there. That's okay. And I believe there was one more. Or I just might have pulled the whole passenger footwell right off in this moment. Sitting on the floor, face down. You get the speaker in there and you get the light in there. I didn't even bother disconnecting them. I just tried to get them up out of my way for the next operation. There's your push clips. Trying to reorient the camera. So behind this carpet, right there, there's nothing really holding this. You can just pull it back. I think you can actually pull it off. Just get your hand up in there and give it a tug. It's a trim piece. There's some clips holding it in there. But if you carefully work your hand around, it pretty much pops right off of there. Shouldn't even break anything. It's a simple assembly. You see all the little clips? So that's designed to just pop right off of there. You just grab it and give it a tug. Put it up out of your way somewhere. But where we're interested in is up by where your feet go, where I'm focusing on right there. It's kind of tricky. Get the camera up in there. So there's the screw that you're going to want to be interested in. Here's a view of the right side panel. I'm not sure why I recorded that, but there it is, so you can take a look at it. Okay, some Model 3s use a 6mm socket. You could probably get away with maybe a quarter, but mine was a T20. So I unscrewed it using a T20, took that screw out, pulled that out, and then that cover kind of pops right off of there. You just pull it from the bottom and it unhooks. So far, super simple. And I move the camera again. You may want to move the flap. Okay, you can see there's the top filter. Doesn't want to come out. You got to move the flap of the bottom filter down. And then that top filter pulls right out of there. And you can hear me sucking air working underneath the dash like that. And then the other air filter pulls up and you can pull that one out. Just like that. Look at all that. Look at all that stuff in there. Yep, that one's really bad. That one needed to be replaced. Way overdue. Okay, here's the new air filters. You see the arrows on the top? You want those to be facing towards the rear of the car when you put them in there. Oh my gosh, that made a mess. Look at how dirty the car is. Okay, so you want to push the bottom filter into the HVAC cabin slot. Cabin filter slot. Push that in and then push it down. And make sure that tab is folded down. And you want to put the top cabin filter on top of that one. Make sure you keep the tab facing out. And then push that tab up because you're going to want to put that HVAC cabin filter cover back on. A wonderful view of the bit holder that I used. So at this point you want to grab that right side panel and take a look at it for a while like I did, because I'm like, all right, what do I do now? Not so hard once you figure it out. So I'm moving the camera so you can see there's some locator pins. There's one in the back there, and I believe there's also one in the front, just like that. I'm putting the camera back. I just wanted to do that so you can see what the locator pin look like. There is one towards the back of the car, and there's one towards the front of the car. You definitely want to get those lined up. And once you get those lined up, you can start to carefully push all those connectors back in. You want to make sure all those connectors are lined up as well. But having those alignment pins is really going to make a big difference. So then you go ahead and just push all those connectors in. You hear them, just snap it in, just kind of bang them in there. Okay, remember your push clips? We'll be putting that back in. Alright, Tesla suggests that you unplug the speaker and the light to move that out of the way. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't need to do it. You just run the chance of breaking the connector. If you can get away with it, don't even bother. So this part was kind of fun. Trying to hold it up there, get it lined up. So go ahead and start pushing the push clips back in. And once I figured out how to get it lined up, it wasn't too bad. It was just a matter of holding it and then getting the clip in there. Kind of an awkward space. And then remember to put all 4 clips back in. And you don't need a tool for this. You can just push it in with your fingers. They just click in. Okay, there's the front passenger footwell piece back in place. And I do believe I made a mess out of everything, and time to have somebody vacuum.